Hello everyone, welcome to the video. We're going to be going over the new mutators today in Escalation. I do have a lot to say about these, my opinion and whatnot. We'll get around to that, but first I thought I'd just explain them. A lot of people asking me how do they work, what do they mean, they're a little bit confused by them, and a lot of people are saying they're really difficult. And I actually got around in stream today, very tired, but still managed to get through some tier 10s, and I can confirm they're definitely more difficult. Probably the most difficult form of mutators we've had since they've launched. More difficult than when they launched, maybe. So let's have a look at them. I'll explain them to you and what to expect from them, and then I'm going to discuss my opinion around them. Okay, so let's bring up the escalation menu. Here we can we can press G and we can bring up the current mutators of escalation. Now, we've still got Harvester. We've still got Aid Specialist. So that's the one where an enemy will heal others around them. Harvester, meant to affect your blue cores or whatnot. I don't really give much thought to Harvester at all. It's as if it's not existent to me at times. And the Healer, although when Escalation launched, it was really difficult. It's not something that's been that difficult since they made changes and changed mutators and whatnot. Escalation has naturally, since launch, got a lot easier, to a point where I felt it was very easy, really, in context of what we've been doing. And it has shown with a lot more people being able to matchmake for tier 10s, and a lot more people completing tier 10s and whatnot. But yeah, then you've got Unyielding, which has been there since the start, where they cleanse status effects. That has altered since the start. We've got Variety Pack that was introduced recently. And we've had 2 taken away in the last update and 2 added. We've now lost Hotfoot. We've lost Suppressor, so that's the pulse enemy that would pulse you and take out your skills and whatnot. They were a bit of a nightmare. And Hotfoot people didn't like, but I think in time we've got used to Hotfoot. I don't think Hotfoot's really been that difficult as of late. They've been took out, and they brought in One for All and Isaac Says. So we're going to start with Isaac Says because I don't think personally, there's a lot of text here. I'll explain what it means, but personally after today and after playing through some tier 10s, it's not something I'm really focusing on. I'll explain why. So Isaac Says, at random times, Isaac will display a random color. You'll notice this on your HUD. It's either going to be red, blue, or yellow. Each color inflicts a debuff, which can only be cleared by specific actions. When clearing a debuff, you get 30% rate of fire for 10 seconds. Now, the red icon, if you've got that, you're going to be debuffed with 25% weapon damage. You'll lose that. And then if you destroy a weak point, you clear it and get the rate of fire. If you've got the blue icon on your HUD, you'll get minus 30% weapon handling. And if you kill or assist 3 enemies, you'll clear that to get a rate of fire. And if you've got the yellow icon on your HUD, you'll have minus 30% skill cooldowns, kill an enemy with a sidearm to clear that for the rates of fire. Now, after playing around with this, it seems that that's always rotating. It's not like you're stuck with red throughout the whole mission. You've got to get rid of it. It will go from red to blue to yellow or keep on rotating. And yeah, obviously minus 25% weapon damage isn't nice, but as long as you're always aiming for weak points, which I do naturally, I think most people, it doesn't alter your style of play. You'll notice when you got the debuff, but soon enough gone, either when it rotates to something else or if you destroy a weak point. The weapon handling, didn't really notice it at all, to be honest with you, and you're always killing things, so again, don't really need to think about it. The only one that I gave thought to is the yellow one because of the skill cooldowns. Now, this will affect like an all red build with a revive hive, say more than like a skill build, because 30% on top of a revive hive for a DPS player is going to be considerably more rather than like your refractor build or your healer build or your skill build that has low cooldown anyway, and it's only going to add a few seconds. We had a look at our Banshee build. I think the yellow took it from 15 to 17 seconds, so had 2 seconds on the cooldown. Again, not something we thought about. So in all, with Isaac Says, that hasn't really affected our gameplay in Escalation tier 10s or Escalation in general at all. We stopped giving a thought about it after a couple of missions. We played around with it, we've seen how it worked, and we didn't even think about it. We don't think that has much of an effect, and nothing too bad. I won't say it's making things too difficult. Now, what's making things very difficult for players, and where I've seen a lot of the complaints, is One for All. This one is a game changer. It really is. So let me read this one out to you. When combat starts, some random enemies will receive One for All. You'll have this icon above their heads. Now, One for All will grant 40% damage resistance to allied enemies without one for all within 20 meters. Now, I believe this might be a little bit bugged because I'll speak about that in a moment, but it's only meant to be to enemies without one for all. However, damage inflicted on enemies with one for all is also applied to all enemies without it in the same radius. This damage bypasses the damage reduction from the one for all. So you can think of this a bit like Negotiator Dilemma. If you see one of these enemies, you can shoot it, it's going to spread that damage. And it does. It works very well. There's scenarios where it can work really, really well. If with a bit of practice and team synergy and call-outs, you can focus these. You can do a ton of damage to a load of enemies and get them gone quick. And there's moments where we've been practicing with this where that did happen, but for the most part, especially while we've been playing tired today, a little bit unfocused, not so dialed in, this was very, very difficult to play against. Now, I noticed a outcast spawn on the zoo. Do you know the ones that explode with the chest, the C4? That chest took more than 2 clips of frenzy and still did not explode. I don't know what that spawned with. I can only think 2 or 3 of these one for alls. And I think they stack. Pretty sure they stack. Also, while I've been playing today, I noticed that I was shooting a red bar, and they're hardly taking, they're taking no damage from what I could tell. The red bar, the health was not going down. And then when I switched to the one for all enemy, he was also much tankier than he should have been, which is why I think this bit might be a little bit bugged, because it felt to me like another one for all enemy was giving 40% damage reduction to another one for all enemy. Now, I can't confirm that. It just felt like that in one instance that I saw while playing this. And if that's the case, it does make it very hard, because if you have multiple of these spawning, it appears that it stacks, especially with those 2 moments I mentioned where I'm emptying 2 frenzies into C4 and it's not exploding. I'm shooting a red bar and there's no health going down. It feels like when you have a couple of one for all enemies, it's stacking that 40% damage resistance on the enemies. So instead of 40, it's 80. There's 3 of them, it's 120, which means they're invincible, right? So this is very difficult. Very difficult. Whether it's bugged or not, whether I was just reading it wrong, whether it's a bit of server lag and that's why their health was going down, I don't know. But it was very difficult. Now, yeah, the idea of this is, like I said, when a one for all enemy comes out, you're going to want to shoot them and target them 100%, because they won't have any damage resistance. I mean, you shoot them, it's going to be spreading the damage to other enemies as well. And that's kind of the game plan with that. It definitely means some more strategic play probably for the team, and definitely comms, a more focused, dialed in gameplay. I think before this change, we were running through tier 10s, having a laugh, having a joke, putting our feet up. It was that easy. And what's happened is they've made it difficult again. It has definitely made it difficult again. I can see that in the comments and people's frustrations over the last few days, and just seeing it for myself today, playing kind of half-arsed. So, yeah, they're the new mutators. This is the new mutator setup right now. My opinion. What do I think about it? Now, I'm going to share you with my opinion first on this. I'll put some gameplay in the background when we talk about it. So again, first we'll discuss my personal opinion, but then we will discuss my opinion based on how I feel this will affect things with the community in general. Now, my personal opinion is that this is really good. I like it. You got to remember, if you follow me for a while, I loved Escalation from launch. I loved the prospect of challenging content to overcome. This is just me. So this now seems like a challenge for me and my team to overcome. This is what I do. I love getting my team together, rack our heads together, think about ways of making this easier and making this comfortable and overcoming the obstacle ahead of us. This is how I do it. It's some of the best times I have on a Division 2, whether it be raids, incursions, escalation. It's so much fun and I really like it. I like a challenge that's in front of me. I like to overcome it. I like to make it easy, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm looking forward to that. We've already had a lot of conversations today about how we can adjust our current strategy, which worked okay on it. We did get through all the tier 10s. Like, we didn't wipe today unless it was a door that didn't work on Art Museum or it was a personal error. We cleared all the tier 10s for this week, and yeah, it was difficult. We did it while we're half asleep as well. We're very tired. What a busy week it's been. So with a bit more focused gameplay, get the main team together, we'll be absolutely fine, and we can make some tweaks, and we're going to make this easy, and we're going to enjoy it still. It's definitely more harder. We're not going to be running around with our feet up. There's going to have to be comms. There's going to have to be organization. There's going to have to be some good dialed in gameplay to make these easy, and we are looking forward to that. So yeah, personally, this is what Escalation was about. Okay, when it was originally launched, it was about tough gameplay. It was about challenging the player. It was about a long grind for your gear that you wanted in your builds, and there's the new end game to really stretch it out and kind of keep you engaged. And for me, in that mindset and how I liked it, 100% I like it. I like that you're going to have rotating mutators. It's not going to always be the same. You might get a strategy in your work and you're doing very fast runs, sub 10 Lincoln Memorials and getting sub 10s on some missions, and then there's going to be some new mutators that come in and then switch it up and make you adjust. It's perfect. Now, that's my opinion. The opinion as a community, though, and what I know the community, or what I think the community wants, and how the community has reacted to Escalation since launch, and the changes they've got to make. They've already admitted that the mindset from launch is completely different now. The mindset towards Escalation is completely different. They have made it a lot easier, and they've made it more accessible for the whole player base. Now, it's a bit strange the way they've gone along that road, and then so to a point where before this came out, like I said, matchmaking tier 10s became more of a thing. So many more people were doing tier 10s. A lot of people were getting on the escalation grind much more easier now, and the people were enjoying it a bit more, I think, right? To then go and drop this, what makes it dead hard again. It seems like it's a little bit personally confused by that decision, because I honestly do think that with the mindset of the community and how it's changed to really try and make this more fun and accessible rather than what was originally intended for, this is probably going to kill matchmaking. I can't imagine that people are going to be happy now not being able to complete escalation, because that's going to be the case. Like I said, even with my team, we're going to have to be a bit more dialed in. Comms are going to have to be there. There's definitely going to be more target prioritization. It's not just matchmake, go in, shoot stuff, get it done, which it kind of got to. This is more difficult. Players are going to struggle on lower tiers, never mind completing tier 10s. And I don't think this is going to go down well at all. I won't be surprised if it gets changed very quickly, whether it's a damage reduction that goes from 40 to a lower percentage, whether it is a little bit bugged and it is stacking, it's not meant to be stacking. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if things got changed quickly, because yeah, I can already tell by the comments from people in the streams and on the videos, they're not liking this change at all. They were just getting into farming escalation. It's just been made at a level that they're comfortable with, or more comfortable with, and all of a sudden it's gone hard again. And it is difficult and it is challenging, and I just got a feeling that I don't think the community are going to take it that well. And for that reason, it's probably quite a bad change. But what I would say at this point, though, is I can see it changing, definitely, because they're going to notice the stats. They're going to, if that does happen and matchmaking does die and less people are playing escalation, they're going to see that. They're going to see, okay, well, maybe this ain't the way to go. And they'll see it. But this is where you're going to just give them time and be patient with this, because escalation is still new. It's only 1 season old. Okay, we're in the 2nd season of escalation now. There's still changes happening all the time. Most of these mutators, I imagine, have been made from the start as well. So they do want a rotating mutator system. They've said that from the start. And they're probably going to want to test the grounds with what they've made. This is probably stuff that they've made. They want to test. They want to get the feedback. So just give it time. If this doesn't work, I'm pretty sure they don't want people to just be quitting the mode. They don't want people not matchmaking. They don't want people not playing escalation. But there's work they've done that they're going to want to test, and they're going to find the right balance of what the community are happy with, but also what they're happy with, because there are people like myself that also want that challenge and stuff. So it's a balancing act for them. So just give them time. I do think this is difficult. And I probably think it's probably a step in the other direction again, considering they've been going a lot more casual, aiming a lot more casual with this and making it easier, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like they brought it down to level. Maybe they feel they brought it down too easy, though, and they're trying to get some more difficulty back into it. I don't know. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the new mutators. That's the explanation of the new mutators. I'm hoping to get on this next week before they make any adjustments and stuff, to actually get some new builds together, get some tweaks into our strategy, and see if we can make this easy. Because like I said, personally, I love this sort of thing. I love a challenge to overcome, and we're going to be looking to overcome this new challenge and see what we can do with our builds and try and make it very comfy again. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll get crack on with that. But personally, yeah, I think that it might get changed a little bit because it does feel very, very hard. Very, very hard. And I can see what people are saying. I didn't play this until today, or when this video goes out yesterday. And there's so many comments saying how difficult it was, and they can't even matchmake now on Escalation because nobody's playing it. And yeah, I can kind of see why now, because it's difficult. If anything, you're going to want a team for this. This is why I always play team. It's a co-op game. I love having a team, working stuff out. But yeah, I hope that's answered all your questions about what the new mutators are and explanations for them. And loads of you always ask for my opinions, so there it is. Feel free to drop yours down in the comments. I love reading through your opinions. Please don't attack me for mine, no. And as always, like the video to support it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for more content from me as well. And until next time, thank you for watching and take care.